Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Common English Mistakes. Don't just learn, improve. So today's mistake I saw on a Facebook post, and it's related to adjectives ending in Y. Generally, these are very useful and quite easy to use and a good way to expand your vocabulary. However, sometimes it's a little bit more complicated and there may be a meaning change. And we're going to specifically look at the difference between the at plus noun adjective phrase and the corresponding adjective ending in Y. So anyway, the mistake is up here. I had a car accident, but the other driver was faulty. There are a couple of ways to correct this. See if you can find one using the word fault. And well done if you said either it was the other driver's fault or using an at plus noun phrase, the other driver was at fault. So often you can make the adjective by just adding Y. You probably learnt to do this very early on with things like weather. It was very windy yesterday. It's also useful to do with food. He made a creamy sauce, or with other things like mess. Her room is very messy. However, sometimes it's not that simple. With the original example, fault means responsibility for an accident, so it was the other driver's fault. However, if you want to describe that, you can't just add Y to make the adjective. You need the at plus noun phrase at fault. The other driver was at fault. And I think this is what the person wanted to say. It can also mean responsibility for something negative, like losing a football match. However, you probably wouldn't say, we lost the match and I was at fault. Have a pause of the video and think why this might be unnatural. And well done if you said this would sound a little strange, because that's a normal everyday situation, and at fault is semi to quite formal. So use it for something like a car accident, but not an everyday thing like a football match. However, fault also means a problem or defect with something, like electronics or machinery. For example, the mechanic found several faults with my car. And with this meaning, the adjective, you just add Y. So taking that example with my car, let's say the battery was faulty or the lights were faulty. Maybe not broken, but weren't working properly. And finally, you can have a fault with someone's character, something negative. He has several faults, but I still think he's a good person. And in this context, there's no real adjective. You'd say something like, he's not perfect. So as you can see, sometimes there is a difference in meaning between the adjective ending in Y and the adjective phrase at plus noun. Over here, I've got 5 more adjective phrases. Look at the sentence, think about the context, pause the video and think what each phrase means. And well done for the first one. If you said at ease means relaxed or not worrying. Obviously, this is different to the adjective easy, which you know. And if you look at the modifier completely, you'll see that it's a non-gradable adjective. So if you want to make it more intense, don't use very, extremely, etc. Use totally or completely. And then for the next one, at rest here means not moving. Again, this is semi to quite formal. Technically, you could say, don't disturb him, he's at rest, but I would say it's much more natural to say he's resting. It can also mean free from worry. Here, though, I would use it in the phrase put or set your mind at rest. For example, if you have a medical issue, you should go to the doctor to set or put your mind at rest. A useful phrase that. Then at odds means disagreeing. at odds with someone. So environmentalists are at odds with the government about the plans for the new airport, or at odds over or maybe about something. The environmentalists and government are at odds over the plans for the new airport. And then at risk means in danger or in a situation where something negative may happen. Often you're going to use this with of plus noun or verb ing. So people who eat a lot of sugar are at risk of diabetes, noun, or getting diabetes. Also, it might be useful to use this in the phrase put someone or something at risk, in danger, in a bad situation. So for example, drunk drivers put other people at risk. And again, just be careful because there is a corresponding adjective ending in y, risky. Risky, something involving risk, potential danger, or negative things. And if something is risky, it puts others or other things at risk. And then for the last one, at peace means of a region not at war or fighting, as opposed to the adjective peaceful, which just means generally not involving war, fighting, or aggression. And again, there is a difference in meaning if you're talking about people. If you say someone or a group of people are peaceful, it means not violent. Whereas if you say at peace, it means either very calm, he seems very at peace, or not worried or troubled by things, especially if they happened in the past. She's had a difficult year, but she seems at peace with everything. Or it's a sensitive way to say someone is dead. After a long illness, he is now at peace. Anyway, explanation over. Hopefully that was useful for you. I always worry about how many views and subscribers I have. So if you'd like to put my mind at ease, make sure to subscribe, like, share the video with others. It would be much appreciated. Anyway, when you're ready, let's practice and improve. Just pause the video and put an at plus noun adjective phrase or an adjective ending in y from today's lesson into these sentences. More than one option may be possible. And well done if you said people who live in low-lying areas are at risk of floods. When two children fight, it's often difficult to know who is at fault, who's responsible. When I do yoga, I feel completely at ease or maybe at peace. And then don't use that socket, the place for electricity. It's faulty. There is a problem or defect. His business failed, but he seems at peace with it. He doesn't worry or think about it too much. And finally, I'm often at odds with my colleague. We see things differently, we disagree. So now just write, say, or discuss the same sentences for you. And finally, today's question. If you've watched Friends and you watched Ross and Rachel break up, who do you think was at fault? So write your answers in the comments, guys. I think that's quite a fun way to use the language. Anyway, that's all for today. If you're watching this video more or less when I released it, a very happy new year to you, and I'll see you for another video in the next couple of days. Until next time, see ya.